Welcome to the Light Show. It's Never Too Late podcast. I'm your host, Valencia Clay, and my two guest co-hosts are Nat Fisher-Fellman, founder of We Got Work to Do, and Light Sister T. We are here to promote our self-help podcast to bring people together to shed light on real-life issues. We created this platform to share experiences and to provide tools and resources to help each other overcome personal challenges and achieve our goals. We also offer entrepreneurs to come on and promote and market their business. If you need to reach out to us, I am available on Instagram at The Light Show Podcast. Also, you can reach out to us on Facebook at The Light Show, and our YouTube channel that I'm hoping you can subscribe to, which is The Light Show Podcast. Feel free to reach out to us, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. I'm your host, Valencia Clay. This is The Light Show. It's Never Too Late self-help podcast, bringing people together to shed light on real-life issues. We have created this platform to share experiences, to also provide tools and resources to help each other overcome personal challenges and to reach our dreams, goals, and aspirations. We also offer opportunities for entrepreneurs to come on to this podcast and to promote their business and market their business. If you want to reach out to us, you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube at The Light Show Podcast, also on Facebook at The Light Show, and on Instagram, The Light Show Podcast. So I have my two co-hosts, my guests here, Nat Fisher-Fellman, founder of We Got Works to Do.
Hey.
And we have our Light Sister T.
Hey.
My ride or die. And my special guest, he's special, Mr. Ben Pryor, that I've known for 20 plus years. So we wanted to have you come on as well. It's the first because you gave me my first opportunity as a speaker on your show, the Saturday morning show, right?
Saturday morning wake-up show, yeah.
Saturday morning wake-up show. And we look out for each other. That's just how we do. So as soon as I started this, I reached out to you. I was like, you want to be on the show? You're like, all right.
Hey, let's do it. I'm always game, man. You
yes, and I'm so thankful for you. So how's everybody doing? We're going to start off with how everybody life is going with the coronavirus happening. I mean, I guess that's the topic these days, right? How's everybody handling this?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's just you can't just panic too much because we done survived, all of these eras. We survived, the Jim Crow era, the 400 years of slavery, and let's talk about it, mental health, we still surviving, so it's not really too much of a scare to me personally.
You're not paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, we're
on
paying
the
attention,
news?
of course.
But you don't want to watch too much news. You watch too much news, you get self-absorbed.
Right, yeah.
And then you forget, like, God and what's real. You know what I mean? Like, God is no weapon formed against us shall prosper.
Right.
So
exactly,
a lot of people are in fear. A lot of people are having anxiety. All the stores are selling out with all the hand sanitizers, and I know, right? Even when the snowstorm, they tell you it's gonna be a bad snowstorm. People go and just
panic.
They panic.
But fear is one of those things that controls the masses. If you can keep the masses in fear all the time, you can control everything they buy, everything they do. You can just control them all the time. So if you just keep pushing fear, oh my God, it's the coronavirus, it's gonna kill thousands of people.
That's a fact.
Get some Theraflu. Now everybody's going to get some Theraflu, and you can control the masses.
And this Theraflu gonna sell out.
Oh, it's sold out around my block.
On Theraflu?
All the cold medicines.
On my block, they got
Theraflu,
everything. They got everything except the coronavirus test. Like they have the pregnancy test. That's gonna be the new thing. They're gonna have a test where they had a
portable test
where you walk in and be like, "Can I buy the corona test?" I just want to see if I'm positive. Because even if you're positive, it still goes through your system.
But no,
I do. Yeah.
Even if you're positive, I don't mean to cut you off. Even if you're positive, then what? They don't have no cure.
No,
so then what?
it goes
Right,
through your
that too.
system.
Right,
You just,
that's a fact.
you just like a virus, like any virus. You just go home and you stay to yourself. You quarantine or whatever they say. Stay to yourself and drink lots of liquids, and it goes through your body. Everybody, there are people walking around with coronavirus, like thousands of people don't even know,
That's a fact.
because it's a virus. It's a cold, and millions of people die from the flu. You know. But the coronavirus, everybody, be okay. You're going to be okay. I promise. Like anything else, we have survived.
That's
so
right.
don't just, forget about your grind and your motivations that you're doing and sort of and feel like I'm not going out. I don't want to go. You can go out and be okay. We out. Look, we out.
Out and about.
We out. So, just stay aware, keep your hands clean. Don't be coughing all on people and stuff like that. I was on a train the other day, and I was on a train, the Long Island Railroad, and I had a slight cough. I tried so hard not to cough because the lady next to me, I said, "This lady gonna be like," and I was holding it in like.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
And
you don't want
can't,
to sneeze. You
No.
don't want to do
Right.
anything.
No.
Because everybody's like, oh my God, was he sneezing?
No.
Like,
It's
she
like,
got it.
oh,
Yeah. So I tried, but my eyes started getting watery, and I was like, I just got the cough. As soon as I let it out, it was the loudest cough ever. And the lady was like,
Yeah.
I wanted to say, ma'am, I don't have the coronavirus.
Right.
I'm just, at allergy season right now. Anyway, so it's going to be a lot of people sneezing. Allergies. This is March.
Allergies,
Spring
yeah,
is
March,
about to
yeah,
start.
spring next
They
month.
sent a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people home from my job, and like I know one lady, she has really bad allergies, and she didn't take her medicine, and she was just sneezing. It was like, you home.
Oh, my
and she
God.
was like, it's my allergy.
Right. Yeah.
I
That's,
was like, I got allergies too.
they send me home.
Yeah, they didn't give you the memo. Like, you can stay home next week. We got the
Yeah,
memo. We can stay
nah,
home next
I'm
week if we
IT.
want. You got the memo?
No, I ain't got no memo.
You get
We
one
open.
memo?
Yo.
Yeah, CBS is open.
Well, we got to set up everybody with remote access to their computers, so we got to be there first before we can probably do everything ourselves remote. But we got to be in and make sure we get everybody's PCs up and running. And I'm like, I need to be off too, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Jeez.
Well, you got vacation days, right?
I'm
You
not
don't want to
taking my
use
vacation days when they letting people just
Right,
stay
yeah,
home.
exactly. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
True indeed.
I'm good.
So, I work in a bank, so, it's all about like the stock market. So the first 2 days when the stock market it went down, fear. People was like, oh my God. And I was like, relax. And then now today the stock was up really high. So
I mean, it's people are gonna panic at first, and they're gonna dump their. It's
gonna die out. They
canceled.
canceled the NBA though.
Yeah.
Yeah, to further notice. Yeah.
Don't you think the
then with
players
two,
mad?
But the two players that had it, you don't want to keep passing it.
Yo,
around.
but they
Right.
They done
canceled the
sweated it on
NBA.
everybody.
Like when you cancel the
Yeah,
NBA, you're like,
that's
what?
tough though.
They canceled
Millions.
everything.
Millions all over the world. We losing
Yeah.
billions of dollars.
MLB is being
Disney.
pushed back.
Everything,
MLB,
all the
yeah,
concerts,
yeah.
Yeah. I ain't
St.
wanna go
Patrick's
anyway.
Day
My girls
parade,
take me to a concert. I
everything.
ain't wanna go,
Yeah.
so I'm good. They
That's too
canceled
many
that.
people.
I had like two
Nah, I was glad when
baby
they
showers.
canceled. I
They
ain't wanna go
canceled
anyway.
that for next month.
So what do you do during all this time to yourself? When you have all this time now, like stuck in a house, or what do you?
Well, I just try to do a lot of research.
Oh, you don't
On
got to
a-
go to work?
No, I had to go to work.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
work, yeah. But I don't have no time off, so my
Yeah.
job ain't give me no time.
It's a lot of people that got to
We
stay in,
open.
and then they have in New Rochelle the whole, they on lockdown.
Yeah.
And they serving food for those that
Yeah.
can't go out. They
New
won't
Jersey,
let you
parts
out.
of New Jersey too.
On
Yeah.
lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, parts of New Jersey too.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
just shut my son's school down for 2 weeks.
Okay. So now there you go. What you gonna do with all? What you gonna do? Like you got.
I ain't got 2 weeks off. He got 2 weeks
Yeah,
off.
he's good.
I gotta go to work. So I don't know what he gonna do. He gonna be playing video games or something. I'll be at work.
All right. So anyway, so let's start with you, Ben. We already. Okay. So, Mr. B, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing? Your plans, your purpose, some of your challenges, because this is the Light Show, obviously.
Okay.
So we want to kind of help others, overcome their challenges. So is there anything you can share with us?
Oh man, so obviously, you said it. I was doing a podcast, but I stopped doing that. Now I'm starting a new one. Ironically, it's called Light Conversation.
Okay.
Light Conversations.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
so
right.
It's leading individuals through educational conversations. So it's kind
Yes.
of almost not the same premise, but it's it's close enough.
Yeah.
So on that show, we bring in.
Congratulations. I'm
Thank you.
excited
Yeah,
for you.
congrats,
All of us
congrats,
on the rise. We all
Yeah.
rising together. This
That's what
is
we're
a
supposed to
family.
do. That's what we're supposed to do. Bring
That's
each other
right.
up.
That's right.
So on that one, I'm so used to saying we. I bring in different people that have either different types of jobs that we're not used to seeing or different types of professions that we're not used to seeing. And so like I've had a black-owned jewelry shop, the owner of that. I have a guy, he owns a black-owned import-exporting business and stuff like that. So it's just different types of jobs that normally your kid wouldn't think, oh, I want to be this. They, because most of the times they just want to be a basketball player or this or that. I have an architect coming in. I have a JAG lawyer coming in. Like,
Okay.
it's,
That's nice.
so it's like
Different.
careers that we just don't really think about because it's not really pushed
Connect
to us.
with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not flashy. It's not, glitz and glamour. So I was like, I want to show, hey, we got other things that we can do if we put our minds to it. So let's do it. So
Congratulations.
I'm doing that
That's
one.
huge. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh, I just finished writing a series called Gentrified.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's I don't want to call it's not a comedy and it's not a drama. So what do they call those dramedy when it's a drama /
I know where you
comedy?
at.
Oh,
Something like
dramedy. Okay.
So it's talking about the gentrification of Harlem, in the early 2000s when everybody started to migrate uptown, and just how.
Can I ask you a question? Is
Sure.
it true that they sold brownstones in Harlem for $1?
Yeah, they did, but see, here's the
Wow.
catch to it. It was not $1, right?
Okay.
What it was that you would buy a brownstone, and it's probably about 10 grand back
Okay.
then, but all you had to do was put down $1.
Okay.
And so everybody was saying they're selling them for $1, but they weren't selling them for $1. You just had to put $1, as low as $1 down.
Yes.
And you can get your brownstone.
Oh,
So my
okay.
uncle did it. One of my uncles did it. He put $1 or whatever he put down, and my dad was like, "I'm not doing that. They're trying to rip us off, and it's a scam, and blah blah blah." And he got it, and he paid maybe about $8 grand for his brownstone back in probably 79 or something. I
amazing.
can't remember when, but I was a kid, and he sold it in 2009, excuse me, for $1.8 million. And he sold it for, he brought it for $8. So
Wow.
He bought it for
Crazy
eight.
profit.
$8,000.
8,000.
8,000.
Oh,
sold it
wow.
for
Crazy
1.8
profit.
in
Yeah.
09. So I was like, huh,
Oh my God.
So what's the
what you think about that, Dad? You should've got
So
one.
is that giving us insight into what we can do as far as like the drama side? Like what is the
Well, it's just showing the effects that gentrification had on both sides, on the black people that were already in Harlem and the white people that moved up, because it wasn't like people just thought it was so easy for them to come in, but it wasn't easy. It took a lot to adjust to what was going on, because it's some ratchet stuff going on in the hood, and that's not what you used to and you from. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And then the business side of it, because there were a lot of businesses that actually went out of business once it became gentrified, because they were buying up all this stuff and rebuilding and putting in things that knocked out some of these moms and pops. So if you look at Harlem in 04 and then you look at Harlem in 2014, it's a totally different Harlem.
right?
It's
Definitely.
and a lot of the moms and pops were gone, and you get
Yeah.
Starbucks all over the place now, and,
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster, and all these other big restaurants, and it's catering to everybody, but it's not affordable to everybody. So
Right.
we just showing all of that kind of stuff that went on with gentrification. You gotta be witty, you gotta have humor to it, or people aren't. People don't want to. I don't want people angry. I just want
Right.
people to see what it was like through my eyes, I'll say.
So when are we getting the invite? Is it a show? Or?
Well, it's right now. I just finished writing it, so
Okay.
now we have to cast and do all of
Okay.
that stuff.
Can
and
we
then-
be a part of it?
Sure.
It's a
Oh,
show.
yeah, I love to kind of support
It's a
that.
play.
Yeah.
No, it's a series.
That's
It's gonna be a
dope.
web series.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Yeah, I will
Web
be a
series.
part of that.
And I'm also doing another one. Once this is done, I just start doing the treatment for another one that I'm gonna start writing called Tulsa.
Okay.
Tulsa, wow.
So
yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
it's like Tulsa. Why the hell would you do something about Tulsa? Because that's what Black Wall Street was.
Right. Black Wall
Oh.
Street, yeah. A lot of people
Most
don't know.
most
about that.
people aren't
Oh.
really very hip to what was Black Wall Street and what was going on back then. And every time someone tries to bring it up, Oprah has tried to do a movie on it, everything, they shut them down because they don't really want you to know exactly what went on and what happened there. So they've been shutting everybody down for years about
Okay.
what's going on. So, you change the narrative. You call it something else.
You
You
bring
know,
it-
you
Right,
don't-
change something
you,
up,
you
right.
start off, because I want to do that as a series, not a movie. So
Right.
you started off with just all of the things that were going on before, the whole Black Wall Street and what went down with that. And you show all the other good stuff they did and all the stuff,
Right.
drama they had. And,
Right.
and you kind of ease on into that part because it's all part of their history. So,
Right.
That's true.
I love it.
that's
I'd
my
love to
next
be a part of
project,
that,
working
too.
on that.
Okay. Well, obviously you busy.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm
You
trying.
you gotta follow your dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
You were blessed with some purpose in life, and at least what you're doing is going to bring light, which is what your show is. It's just
Exactly.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Exactly.
Light is going to be all over the world. We're going to be we about to shine. The light is lighting up the world. Light workers is what I call them. So before we go into our topic of the discussion, what are you working on, Mr. Nat Fishel? I know you got a couple, for the month of March, and shout out to all the women.
Yeah.
Month
Shout out
of
to
March,
Women's
women's
Day.
celebration.
It's
Yeah,
Women's
women's
Day.
celebration.
Hey. Just like
Hey.
Mother's Day is every year.
Yes.
Just once a month.
Mother's
you know?
Day for a month.
Yeah.
Get it, women, get
So,
it, sisters.
Yeah, so we got the event you hosting. Shout
Yeah.
out to Janine Douglas. We got
Yes,
that coming
March
up.
28th,
The Women
right?
Expo.
Women's celebration, yeah.
Finance event. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should come to that. That's
I
gonna be
worked
dope.
with her.
Yeah,
on another
yeah.
Janine
event.
Douglas?
Yeah.
She's gonna have
She's
performance, a
amazing.
fashion show, guest
nice.
speakers, and
Yeah.
Valencia is hosting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Second time.
So
I love
we got
her.
that. We got
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was supposed to be at PS 47 in the Bronx, but they shut it down because of the coronavirus.
You gonna
and stuff.
perform?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but TJ Vita, shout out to TJ Vita, she called me and last night said it was canceled because
Oh,
of
okay.
the coronavirus. So.
Okay.
So we only got the Women's Finance Expo, the 28th, March 28th. So if you're available, come out.
Yeah.
Come out, support
It's
us.
at
Sobro.
Sobro, right?
Sobro Social
In the Bronx.
in the Bronx,
where
on
I'm gonna be.
Bruckner Boulevard.
And
yeah.
she needs vendors as well. I think her Instagram is Women Working at Instagram at Women Working. Janine.
Women.
Or just reach out to me. Reach out to
Yeah,
us.
reach
and we'll
out to
connect.
Valencia Clay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
connect you to her. The
Like
event is
sisters.
actually free, and it's just going to be a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, it's gonna be
speakers.
nice. It's gonna be
Yeah,
really nice. Yeah, the last one she
And
had last
vendors.
year was really nice in
Mhm.
Harlem. It
Yeah.
was really nice.
and the vendors, you can reach out to me because I think she need vendors. We just sisters supporting each
Definitely.
other. That's what it's
Definitely.
all about. So
Gotcha.
Miss T, how's school? Because I gotta.
School is good. It's great.
Yeah, she's getting her master's,
Nice.
and then she's getting after that her PhD, business.
Thank you.
Business, right?
Congrats,
Business.
congrats.
Yeah.
No, my
keep
PhD in
going.
sociology.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but the master's is kicking your.
That's where it at.
Oh, God.
She gonna
I
do
reached
it.
out,
She
I
gonna
reached
do
out
it.
to her
She
the
gonna
other
do
night.
it.
Was like, "How you doing?" She's like, "It's hard. Finance." She's doing
That's a hard
finance.
class.
That's what we
hard
need though. 'Cause,
class.
Need that, yeah.
like if we can get that in the schools early, junior high school, high
Oh,
school,
yeah.
'cause,
They
we
need-
need to
they
know
need
about
it.
finance,
Right.
because most
Yes.
most
Don't
black
wait
and
till
brown
college.
people
Yes.
don't know about
Right.
finances.
That's right.
I
That's a fact.
agree.
That's a
Because it
fact.
probably would help you, like,
Yeah.
then do it high school
Yeah.
and college. Be
Right.
better.
Yeah, because
Then you
finance
won't
is
be
no
in-
joke.
You won't be in credit card debt so early. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
learn money.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so I hope when we have the youth on, we could talk about all these topics and help them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I know they definitely need our guidance
Yes.
and support.
Wait, how is your girls doing? The ones that you guys did the event for that went away to school, and you guys gave them the gift
The
bags
gift
and all?
bags and stuff like that. Sister Dietrich still stay in touch because that was her Scholars on the Rise event, and she
Yeah.
stays in touch with them. A lot of them are doing really, really well.
Cool.
So
So they
we
have to
hope
be
to.
like sophomores or
Yeah,
juniors
yeah,
now, right?
yeah. I'm hoping we could do like another celebration when they come out, like, when they have a break, we could, welcome them and
If you
say,
could catch them,
yeah,
the ones that graduate, that'd be super
Oh my
dope.
gosh,
say
right.
hi, see how they doing.
Yeah.
See, I think she stays in touch with them though.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go into a little break for like a minute and then come back with our discussion on roots of the problem. Y'all get ready because this is a powerful one. Okay, talk to y'all in a bit. Thank y'all.
Because the majority of people settle for average. And if you
For
don't,
you will feel comfortable peeling away those layers. The layers might be challenging. You might feel a shift in your body. You might feel different because remember, you're shedding. You're getting to the root and then you start shedding all of those different, abuse that you experience in life, all those different feelings that you've had as a child. All I'm saying is that if you want better, sometimes it's not the people that are the problem, it's our own self that is the problem. And if
Talk
you want to
about it.
get to the root of the problem, it's within you, right? So you need to get back to loving all of you. Purging is important. Purging, shedding is important. Even the parts that you have disowned, like fear, forgiveness, shame, guilt, rejection, blame. Wholeness is the key that leads to healing, but first you have to accept the past, own it, and let it go. This is what I mean when I say get to the root of the problem. When we dig up the root, we can pull out the weed and plant new seeds of thoughts about who we are and the choices we make in life. So let's start the conversation. Now, do you agree that our childhood has an effect on our life and our relationships that we have?
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
And do you agree that if we don't do the inner work, then we will continue to attract the same kind of relationships, which is you might be, the people pleaser, the victim, the controller. They're like, it's the layers are so deep and everybody has a different childhood. So acceptance, I guess, is key to, like, if you're in a relationship, we can accept other people. But if they're pressing a trigger in you and you overreact a certain kind of way, is that something that you focus on yourself, or do you look at the person, you start attacking the other person instead of saying, because we all, listen, I'm in the learning process. It's a work in progress every day. Through relationships, you are a work in progress. Through your relationships, through people that you meet every day, your job, your people at your job. Like, it's so deep. That's why I say the root of the problem. We are love, right? We're love, but then all of a sudden, through our caretakers or whoever taught us certain things, how to behave, we've actually kind of like covered up that love. That love is like way at the bottom. So how do we peel away those things? Like, you have to do your inner work. No?
Yes.
Oh, I'll take it because it's most people, when you asked earlier, do we look at the other person or do we look at ourselves? Most people, we're going to automatically look at the other person. We're not going to just say, hey, what did I do wrong in this situation that I could have fixed, that this situation might not have escalated? We automatically say, oh, no, it was his fault. He pressed my buttons. He should have known better than to press my buttons.
Right.
How would he know that he said something that was going to press your buttons?
Right.
Sometimes it's not that he knew, and sometimes it is, people know what buttons to push, but you still have to say, all right, I'm not going to let him say this and that's going to affect me, because you have to do your self-digging and your self-healing.
Right.
No one can heal you but you.
Right.
You have to do it yourself. And we latch on to the people that we think have what we're missing. So if I was a kid and I didn't get a whole bunch of attention, but now she's giving me a bunch of attention, she's my new best friend because I'm be all up underneath her because she's giving me the attention that I need.
Right.
But it's a false sense of what's the word I'm looking for?
A false sense of protection
Security?
or for security.
Security, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll use
security.
that. False sense of security because the moment you or she doesn't do something that I like, then I'm not feeling that love and that
Connection.
security anymore. So, and no one can give you that much attention. If you need attention that bad, there's no one person that can give it on a consistent, steady basis. Like
Right.
I told a female that I know last night that she has a black hole of love. There's not enough love in the world that can be given to her that would make her feel satisfied. Like
Right.
Wow.
everyone needs to give her love all the time because she just has to have that. And I don't know what that comes from, but if I'm not showing you that attention, you lash out on me. If he's not showing you that attention, you lash out on him, and then it's her, and she just lashes out at everybody if you don't constantly show her attention. Like, who can do that all the time?
Do you
Right.
think that the lack of a father in our life, and men and women, has an
Sometimes.
effect on who we are as adults?
Yeah, it does. You know, most women, the first man they actually love, obviously, is their father. So if your father's not there, you're not learning certain things. It's funny.
You're
'cause
looking for it.
You're looking
Yeah.
for it. It's funny because someone was asking me about why men nowadays feel so comfortable calling women the B word, and all the way the music
Hoe,
is, and
bitch.
all of that.
Excuse me, y'all.
Yeah,
Had
so
to say
I
it.
didn't want to say it,
Speaking
but
real.
okay.
Let's keep it real. Keep it real. It's
There's
okay.
no
I
filter.
say
Yeah.
it's two reasons. The first reason stems, and this is only my humble opinion. The first reason stems for a lot of us males. We weren't in our daughters' lives, so we wasn't showing them how a man is supposed to treat a female. They're only looking at what they see with the mama's boyfriends that might be in and out, or
TV,
whoever,
movie.
TV, movies, whatever. And the second to me is that women start allowing it and accepting certain things. And before, I'm pretty sure I'm older than most of you in here. So when I was younger, if you called a female the B word, she lost her entire mind, and then you got a piece of her mind, and you might even have to fight her. Now, it's
bigger
not,
brother, right?
it's not even a big deal. Like, they be like, whatever, and keep it moving. And it's like, when did that become acceptable? So it's like a two-part thing for me
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I think as women we have to learn. It's unfortunate a lot of us did grow up without a father. The father that I had, I used to go see in prison. So, I kind of like, and he died when I was 18 years old. He got shot and killed. But I always remember him. His vision, the visions that I had of my father was like, he was just, his personality. When I went to see him in prison, Fred Dotson, his personality was always happy and sunshine, and he always used to tell me, I think I have a part. He was a hustler, but he always used to tell me, no matter what, you do not be a follower. It stayed to me to this day. A lot of things we don't realize that a lot of things people have said to us from young, like, you're never gonna be anybody. You're ugly, kids. We're kids. The images stand, the words stay in our mind.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're stupid. Parents say that to their kids. I know for a fact because I was young. It happened to me. They tell you that you're never gonna be anything, and then you grow up, you don't want to be anything. Or then people, your parents or anybody could do more for you than you grow up, and you don't want to do anything for yourself because everything was done for you. So it's like being aware of your childhood. People are unfortunately going to have to go back and dig up some of that stuff. It might be uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, like, if you are for learning about yourself and who you really are is not through your parents. It's not through what you learned in school. It's not through what your teachers told you. Even though you may have been bullied as a kid, and then you grow up, you're just scared. Like, now people are beating you up still as an adult, or taking advantage of you because
Yeah.
you were bullied.
Yeah.
So now you're like a softie because you're allowing people female or male, to take advantage of you. Or you may have been, you may have seen abuse where now you're in an abusive relationship because it was okay. That's what I mean about you able to tap into your childhood, because then when you sit back and be like, oh my God, it may get emotional. You may break down. It happened to me, like trying on the road of self-discovery, on this self journey. It is hard, it is challenging, but when you have God, that's all you really, really need to help you. Prayer. At the end of the day. But I always wanted to know what my purpose was in life. Not everybody wants to know their purpose, but when you want to know what your purpose is in life, you got to go way back to figure out what is it that's blocking you from achieving your purpose, or finding out what your purpose is, or what your journey is. If you're living through, I have people say, oh, you're just like your mother, you're just like your father. I don't want to be like nobody else.
Like
that's great to know, because there are positive aspects. When I was living on the street, it taught me to this day that I don't let nobody tell me what I can't do. I survived the street, so if anybody tell me I can't do something, I look at you like you crazy, because you don't even know my story. And then when I tell you my story, you be like, oh my God, you went through so much. How that happened?
Yeah, because when I read that book, I got so much to know you personally. I'm like, wow, you went through all of that.
I went through all of that, and then relationships are challenging, because I tell you, when I get in a relationship, I'm like, if you don't meet my standards, it's hard, because I know I'm a survivor. So I want people to be like, man up, everything, man up, man. And people be like, oh my God, everybody not like
that drive.
I know.
That's another thing you gotta realize.
I'm understanding that. I'm understanding that, but I'll be like, yo, suck it up, man. We gotta do this. We gotta make this happen. So it's like, yo, slow down. But I'm a fast speed type of person. That's when you get to know yourself. I don't slow down for nobody, because my personality is, I like to be on the go. I like to be moving. I like to be achieving something. I don't like sitting down and letting time go by. But that's my personality. That's just who I am.
Yeah,
and get that time back.
So, but you need someone that's not like that, because you guys might just pass each other by. You need someone that has that common influence. I know. Yeah. I've been around you a long time, so you need someone that's kind of calm.
That can even it out.
Yeah, your yin to your yang. You need that person that can bring it down a notch for you, though.
I guess, B.
You do.
I guess. The times we went out, I know it was a hot mess. I know.
Oh, man. We didn't even go get into all that.
I'm so thankful I had you in my corner. I don't know where I'd be without you. But yeah, so back to the conversation, it's like living your life and loving what you do in life is about finding your inner self, right? Because if you're walking around feeling, oh my God, defeated, stuck.
Therapy. Like
therapy helps you.
I go to therapy once a month right now.
Amen.
Yes. I go to therapy all the time. Once a month. I don't have a problem with that. I go to therapy.
Everybody, let's go to therapy. Let's get this therapy popping.
I done been through so much. I've seen so much, as from a young kid all the way up. Now, I grew up in one of the craziest eras ever. I grew up in the crack era. So I've seen so much ridiculous crap growing up, and you need it because, like you said, you take it into your relationships, and this person don't know what you've been through until you tell them, and they still don't know what you've been through, so they don't know that you bring in. Well, we all bring all this baggage with
into
us.
The next relationship.
We all bring it, but it's about how you carry your baggage. Are you carrying it all on your back, or are you distributing it evenly amongst yourself? If you can distribute all this baggage evenly, then you won't put it off on this person, even though you're going to put it off on them anyway, but you won't put off but so much of it on them, because it's not all on your back where you trying to get it off you to give it to them, and now you running them off because they like, man, I got my own knapsack on my back with all this baggage. I don't need yours too. So just therapy,
how can
man,
people help
geez.
therapy, and how can you help each other if you're in a relationship? Like get rid of the baggage you're bringing.
Talking
into-
about it.
Yes, talking about it.
Communicating.
Yeah,
Communicating.
communicate.
That's another
important.
issue
But-
that we don't know how to do.
But for
Communicate.
men, it's
We don't,
funny.
yeah.
It's not even that we don't even like to communicate, right? But let's say,
I don't.
we don't. But
I'm
okay.
just bro.
Let's just say, right, and stop me when I'm wrong, right? You communicating with your lady, and she's telling you about her past. Most guys don't think they women had a past before they got there, so they don't want to hear certain things. If you start talking about the exes and I used to date like 4 guys, and we like, whoa, I don't want to hear all
Yeah,
that.
no, that's
So
crazy. Yeah.
you got to be accepting
Yeah, I
of
guess
whatever
it
your
is.
spouse
It's
is, or your
sharing with
mate
you.
is sharing with you.
Right.
Just and don't try. We all judge, but try not to judge, but
I don't.
so harshly. You know
I
what
know,
I mean?
I
Like
know,
you gotta
we
try
do.
not to.
We do.
We do judge.
We do.
We
do.
Right.
do. We
We
do
do. Some of
judge
us,
right
yeah.
now. We sitting at this table,
Yeah.
and we might not be judging each other harshly, but something that you might say like, "Damn, I didn't know that," and you gonna judge,
Yeah.
and it's just instinctively,
Yeah.
and it's not malicious or nothing, but that's just as human nature
Yeah.
we judge.
Yeah.
And I think that's like that's therapy for some women, like to tell you about their past. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had a few. It's therapeutic for them. I think.
Yeah.
Personally, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I wouldn't
we
share.
don't. We don't.
I just wouldn't share everything. I would
neither.
share like things that I think that can help the relationship, but not just sitting there having like, I have 14 boyfriends. So yeah, I mean, it's like, I struggle because sometimes people take advantage of, you
do.
sharing a
Yes,
little
they do.
too much
They do.
information.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. And then they throw it in your face. That's what I mean about people got to do their own self work because you got your stuff too. And don't judge me because I got my stuff, you got your stuff,
True.
And let's just work on, because communication is key. Relationships don't work without it. I know for a fact because I was in one and it was the communication was, shut down mode. And then when you shut down,
It goes nowhere.
it goes nowhere when you shut
point.
down. So anybody in a relationship right now, don't shut down. You gotta put whatever it is that's bothering you on the table.
That's it.
Say it in a certain way where nobody get offensive, because remember, everybody's coming from traumatic, have had some trauma in their childhood. Everybody has. Nobody perfect. And it comes out in relationships because it's little triggers, little buttons somebody will press, and it's like, you get out of control with it, and then you regret it. It's always apologizing, but then there are also signs where abuse. If you are being in an abusive relationship, honestly, I know it's challenging, but you got to say, no. I've never been in an abusive relationship or physical. I don't know, because we don't know, like, what's
We don't-
emotional and
that's
mental
the thing.
abuse.
There's a whole
because
lot
we-
of mental abuse
Yeah.
that go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
A lot.
a lot of us think, we can handle it, but we don't realize we handle it because that's how we handled it as a child. We did not address it because as a child we were not allowed to speak up.
Yeah.
So when somebody gives you abuse, we take it. And we don't
Or we
realize
dish
it's
it
abuse,
back
or we
out.
dish it back out. We become
Yeah.
defensive,
Right,
and we
yeah,
dish it
Well,
back
right.
out.
hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people hurt
Right,
people,
right.
Yeah,
and
so-
hurt people end up with hurt people.
That's
Because
true.
it's the attraction.
That's
You're
right.
a
Yeah.
magnet to whatever it is that
Yeah.
you can identify with.
The worst ones, and this was me for a lot of years. The worst one is the one that wants to fix everybody. That
Right.
you come in a relationship and you just want to show them that, all right, I can help you and I can fix you, because then you get all their baggage. They just don't, hey, you want this here. You can have all that baggage, and then you still got to deal with your own baggage.
Right.
And you can't fix everybody, because if somebody don't want to be rescued, you could throw them out 9,000 life preservers. They just gonna push them to the side. So
Right.
you got to know your personnel too, man.
Right. You gotta know
who
your
wants to
personnel,
be
yeah.
helped and who just doesn't.
Do you think it's important to know the person's past before you get into a relationship?
Sometimes we find out too late.
Well, yeah, but that goes
damn.
into you having conversations with the person in the dating phase. So if
Right.
you're not having conversations, most
So what are
men
you
are
gonna
just trying
ask?
to
What are you gonna ask? Have you had a traumatic childhood?
No, tell me how was your childhood? Like, what was it like? Where did you grow up at? What did you do? How was your family? Like, I have no problem telling people how my life, evolved from a kid to where I'm at now. but most people they don't like that. So I ask, and it's either you're gonna tell me or you're not.
Right.
You know, so I just ask a whole bunch of questions. So
Right.
what were you like when you were in the 3rd grade and stuff like that? People like, what? And I still ask people what their favorite color is, and they be like, why does that matter to you? What my favorite color? Maybe I want to get you some flowers that color.
Yeah, you don't know.
like,
So,
Right.
look, you already asking why.
Yeah.
You already asking why.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not.
Some
they
people think
just-
it's you nosy.
because because then you being defensive already, like, why are you asking me? And maybe the person's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
So that's what I think too. Instead of us always letting triggers bother us, look at the person, say maybe that person is coming from a good place, because sometimes the triggers are not their trigger to you, it's your own trigger. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, that was nice, but why you say? I was just offering you, some
like,
ideas, or whatever.
I deal with that a lot. Like you say something and people automatically jump. Like, so
Get defensive,
what are you
like-
trying to say? I'm like, it was like I asked you, how was your date with such? Oh, you jealous? No, I don't want you. Like,
Wow,
I'm just
really?
asking.
God.
Yeah, some people like that.
I've had people
Man.
like, let's say, because me, I always stay friends with people after we date or whatever, and I'm like, oh, so how was your date with such? Oh, you jealous now? No.
Oh my gosh.
I do not want you
like
back. I am so good.
Yeah.
I was just, making
just checking
conversation,
in.
just checking,
Wow.
seeing if you good. Like,
Yeah.
even though we didn't work, that doesn't mean I don't want people to still be happy. Like,
Right.
Right,
I've been married
right.
before, and I asked for the divorce because I was messing up, not
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And I wanted her to find someone to be happy with. And
Yeah.
now she is. Like, I
what's up,
just
yeah.
want everybody to be cool and enjoy what they're doing.
Right.
But people, Jesus Christ, people be like,
they
what
be
you
able to
want to
bite
know
you.
that for?
What you asking that for?
And I think
Yeah.
I think sisters are, a lot of sisters are, trying to find, a good man, and a lot of men are trying to find a good woman. So we have to do just our own inner work to just find love, because love is who we are. If we're not giving each other love, we're giving each other headaches, stress, drama, then that's
Yeah, you
that's
developing all kind of these
yeah,
symptoms.
then that's those are things. Maybe you like drama in your relationship. Some people say they don't like drama in their relationship, but if you grew up around a lot of drama,
That's what
guarantee you that's what you're going to be
That's what
projecting.
actually- right,
You
right.
gotta go
Some
back to
people are
your
addicted to drama, though.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
so.
No, they really are. Some people are
I
addicted
believe
Because
to
you.
it.
that's
I
all.
believe you.
That's all they kind of like can associate themselves
Yeah.
with
And if
drama.
there's no drama, they're bored and they don't know
yeah,
what to do with themselves.
they don't know what to do because they're so used
And
to
they just progress to online.
yes, and they don't know, and then they just keep doing the same
Visual.
things over and over and over
The
again.
definition of insanity.
Right. And what it is it's focusing on the wrong things. You're focusing on drama. Focus on your inner self. Like I know people just like it's too much. It's work. I just rather whatever. But for us, it seems like we're more like focused on what's going on the inside. You know what I mean? Because, you want to be in a loving relationship. You don't want to be in an unhealthy relationship, an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
You want to be in a loving relationship.
Couples therapy too.
And couples
people don't-
therapy.
People don't
Therapy,
do that
yeah,
though.
couples
People don't
therapy,
believe in.
yeah.
And then-
no
and then-
well, I ain't gonna say people.
point.
Black people don't
Yeah.
believe in therapy like
Yeah.
that. So it could be
No, I don't
couples
like
therapy,
therapy neither.
and you don't. Why? What is it that you don't like about it?
My thing is, I took a few psychology classes.
I did too.
And I feel like, I don't know, I would like a biased opinion. I would like to talk to my friend about any issue.
Oh, you want a biased
Yes,
opinion. You
I
don't
don't
want an
want-
unbiased
No,
opinion.
I don't want, because I know they just sitting there. They get that's the best job in the world. Just to sit and listen to people.
But
you
that's
get
not
all
what
that
they. But
money.
that's not what they do. They don't sit and listen to. They kind of try to steer you to ask yourself certain questions that make you dig deep and see what's going on with yourself. They're not just sitting there just listening.
My
They're
friend could do that
asking you.
to me. Like, I feel
But
like
then,
for free.
but they're biased, and they. The
biased.
thing is that your friends are biased. They're gonna
Yeah, I want
always.
bias,
Yeah, but they're gonna always want and go with you unless you,
if
have
they're
one.
my real
I was gonna
friend,
say,
they're
let's
gonna
just a
be
real
honest.
friend.
That's
and-
what I'm saying.
But are you gonna take that honesty and
I
actually?
will. I will. I will. Because I feel like they just sitting there and then they
But
offer
if you
their
in
opinion.
but if you with your couple, if you with your mate
it's a
and it's
boy.
you and him together, it just bring the union because y'all together, y'all in each other's space. The energy is good to have that energy exchange when he's you and him are there both, and they're the person that's talking to you, the therapist
Maybe
is talking
couples, yeah, maybe that because they can look at both sides,
to you, and then you can
but
look
when
in
it's
each other's
just me,
eyes and
no.
express yourself. Like
Yeah, with that,
You don't
yeah,
want it focused on
when
you.
it's just me, no, I
I
never
think-
call my
I think-
girlfriend and
No,
like,
no. See, that's where I think you shouldn't do. And this is just my
Why?
opinion. I don't think women should do it with their female friends. I think you should have a male friend that you really can confide in that can give you a different look. Then, because I don't confide in my
Outlook on
male
the man.
friends. I don't
Oh, you
tell them.
don't?
No, hell no. My male friends growing up, all my male friends was when I said, "Oh man, me and my girl having an issue." Oh man, fuck that dick. We gonna go out to the party. We gonna get They don't sit there and be like, "Damn dog, yeah, you
And have a
wrong."
conversation.
They're like, "Yo, why would
Yeah.
you do that?" Like
have
they
a
don't do that. They don't even like. Most dudes aren't even gonna tell you. You out and they see you talking to another woman and you have a girl. They ain't gonna be like, "Yo, bro, come on, man. You got such home. Like, what you
Right,
doing?"
exactly.
They don't. Hey, yo,
That's
you
true.
grown. That's what you want to do.
That's
You gonna
true.
do it. Like that's how most of us look at it. We're
Right.
not trying to interfere because honestly, you gonna do what you want to do regardless.
Right.
But we don't do that. So when I speak to my female friends, and yeah, they at times can be a little biased on the female side because they like,
Right.
oh, but they also, if they my real friends, which I only talk to my real friends, they'll say, all right, well, yeah, you did this wrong. Oh, yeah, she's bugging. And maybe she's trying to do it because of this. And they give me a little insight. So
Right.
I'd rather talk to the females. And I don't
female?
like men
yeah,
like
because
that
females
anyway.
usually sis. You know how females are. Be like, girl,
Nah, I agree.
fuck that, got that, don't do
Yeah.
it. And then we get motivated. We be like, you know what, you right. Yeah, girl, you right.
Because if she's
Especially
going
if she
through
not happy.
drama, if
Yeah.
she's going through her
She
own
gonna
drama,
tell you,
she's
yeah.
not happy. And y'all always ask the girlfriend that's like the most unhappy chick ever be the one that gives out the best advice to y'all. It's like, she ain't even in a relationship. Why? Because I ain't dealing with they nonsense. What the?
Real. Got all
Go
this good
ahead.
advice. Like,
Get a good male friend that there's no nothing. It's just you guys are mad cool and try to get into the male psyche and
Right.
figure out
Right.
on the other side.
I agree.
That's just my personal opinion, my humble
I
opinion.
know.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Get the opposite sex advice
Yes.
Yup.
yes.
instead.
But what if it's not advice for the opposite sex? What if what if it's for anything?
It can always be advice for the opposite
For any
sex. For
no, what if
anything.
you have a issue with another girl?
Okay.
So you saying still talk to the guy? So how would he know?
Why can't I? If you got an issue with another girl, I can like. How many women have you dated?
Dated?
Yeah. Zero.
say.
Okay. How many women have?
you
might
didn't
have-
know that.
No,
in
no,
this
but
day and
I'm
age.
just saying. How many women have I dated? Quite a few. So I know a little bit about women because I've been dating them my entire life. So I got a little insight to them. You know.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean, you
But it
guys
wouldn't be
are
a
women,
dating
so
issue.
you guys.
It wouldn't be a dating issue. It
Okay,
would be
so
a totally different
if you got an
issue.
issue with, let's say, your coworker and you want to whoop her ass, and
Right.
you tell your female friend that's down for whatever with you, what is she gonna tell you? Let's go beat this bitch
exactly.
ass.
'Cause
Right.
you know
That ain't
already.
gonna be you.
You
Instead
already
of
know.
saying
I'm
no,
already there, boo.
no
But what do you
tea.
think the guy gonna say?
Well, what happened?
Right.
That's the first question I'm gonna ask you.
What
Well,
happened?
what
Right.
happened?
You got to get to the root
And
of
then
the problem.
you gotta
right?
get to the root of the problem.
and that's the whole
It goes back to
conversation.
that,
You gotta
right.
get to
Goes
the
back
root
to
of
the
the
root of the
problem.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so what is the root of the problem? What happened? What transpired?
Right.
Were y'all cool before this? Like, I asked tons of questions, and then it's like, all right, when you told me, and then I go, all right, what did you do? And if you, because we act like we never do anything, which we do say our little smart stuff, and we might have, they food was in the refrigerator, and we just dump all the food out because we clean the refrigerator, but you know this is today's lunch, so you just do like we do little petty stuff. Like, I know I'm R. Petty. I can be the pettiest dude in the world if I want to be. So, we all are petty.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you do? And we never want to look at ourselves and say, all right, I could have did this differently, blah, blah, blah. So,
Some great advice today. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a conversation that could go
Yeah.
on and on.
Definitely.
And I'm so
Say the
smiling
truth.
because
fact.
so let's talk about some of the tools and resources we could provide, right, to help anybody who struggle with like trauma or, you know, feeling, you know, disappointed in themselves or feeling self-critical about themselves, whether they're depressed, sad. Let's talk about people pleasing. Don't do it. I'm going to just keep it real because we don't have a long time. So people pleasing, if you're always trying to please others, stop. You can't. It's an impossible job to do. You can't please everybody. Okay? No
Not being
matter
real with
how many
yourself either.
times you, no matter how many times
No.
you try, you have to have boundaries. I know I have boundaries, probably way too many, because as soon as you tell me, no, I'm quick to say, no. No. Like,
Quick, real quick.
that's my personality. But that's just me. But then I say a lot of yeses too. You know, but when it's an impossible, you know, when you asking me something, you know, no. You trying to take advantage? No. Because I know when you're trying to take advantage. Your radar go on. As a person, your intuition immediately hits you. No. So no more people pleasing. Okay? Also, victims, like if you feel like you're being, you know, if you're being a victim, get out of it. A chaotic situation. You know, abuse is no joke. It's serious because one thing leads to another. And if you are not protecting yourself, because nobody's going to protect you in an abusive relationship except for yourself. You have to, and abuse could be, it doesn't have to always be physical. It could be emotional or mental. I don't care who it is. I just refuse to have anybody abuse me in any kind of way. Like, self-love is the most important thing. If you have no self-love for yourself, then you're going to allow people to come in and take advantage of you and control you. I have friends be like, my man told me I can't go out. What?
That's crazy.
I don't know if y'all do that. I love y'all, but if y'all
Nah, I
do,
don't
stop
do that.
it.
I don't do that at all. I told
Just
my girl, you can
stay
go
in
out.
there.
tell me where I can go.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Like,
where you can go.
My man told you can't go nowhere. I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy.
Well, let me ask you a question though, and I know we got to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you have to let your man know, or as people say, tell your man what you're doing? Do you feel you need to tell him what you're doing?
That you
Like
going
what?
out? I mean, you
Yeah.
ain't got to
Like
tell
what?
him
Like
detail
going
and
out?
Like,
detail.
yeah, I'm going out with my friends, or do you just go out and then he find out when he find out?
No, you could say I'm going out.
You can just say
Yeah, I
I'm
think
going
it's
out.
important.
Yeah.
Because if we do it, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah,
that's
I go
why
through that
asked.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Just
going
give me
out.
courtesy.
Like,
I'm
trust.
going out.
Remember, trust is also the root of the problem. A lot of us do not trust.
Nope.
And it stems from childhood when we didn't have mother, father growing up and on the street and doing it. You didn't trust the street, especially if you grew up on the street. So it's hard to be in a relationship and trust because them triggers. You be like, oh, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you don't trust the person, you gotta learn how to trust. We're all in this together.
you
We're
got to,
learning.
yeah.
These are
You got
tools
to.
we all gotta learn to. You know what I mean? When you trust yourself and you know you're not doing nothing, and you don't have to worry about. But if you're
Right.
doing something, if you're
You
doing
gonna
something,
be,
Because I heard some women say they say like, hey, I don't need to tell him shit. Like, no, I'm going out when I want to go out. No, I don't think it should be that way. It should
No.
be, hey, I'm going out. You know, I'll see you later. I'll shoot you a
Yeah.
text. You know what I mean? Like, communicate.
That's
all it is.
It's just a
That's
common
the
courtesy.
communication.
Right, common courtesy,
Not
yeah.
like you have to, but
But I heard female, oh, I ain't got to tell him
But all
shit.
of
I'm
those-
going out when I want to go
all
that's
out.
the
things that
communication.
we
That's the
say-
communication.
And
Common
Yeah.
courtesy, common sense, all these things aren't common anymore.
Right.
The things we call common aren't common anymore. People don't do it anymore. Especially
That's
common
weird.
courtesies.
Yeah.
Common courtesies are so gone. Like, people
Yeah.
don't say excuse me anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
They don't say
No.
thank you.
Right.
They don't hold
No.
the
Different
door.
generation,
It's
yeah,
just
it's crazy.
total, and it's not just the younger generation.
No,
it's
it's
some
the
of these older
older,
ones
yeah.
too.
Older ones too, yeah,
I be
yeah,
looking at some of them people that's my age and older, like, are you serious? Like, okay, I just held the door for you, lady. Like,
Right.
I get it. It's
Yeah.
my job.
Right.
But it ain't my job.
Right.
Like, you can
Yeah,
at least say
thank you.
And
so
like I'm so tired of New York, man. 'cause
So maybe
me
what
too.
we could do is on this show, just tell our brothers and sisters and kings and queens that are watching, if a brother opens the door, whatever, holds the door, say thank you. Just say thank you in
thank
general.
you.
Be
I
kind.
say
Be
good.
kind.
I say good morning.
Be kind.
And again, it is practice every day. Practice gratitude
Thank you.
every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Practice gratitude every day. Say hi, good
Basic
morning.
manners.
I walk my dogs in the morning. I say good morning to every person that walk by. I know for a fact that I'm not used to it, but I'm going to try because it's all about the self-love and loving others because we're a universe, right?
And it's
Together.
Right, that's
contagious.
Yeah.
It's
Everything is
Right, that's true.
contagious.
If people smile at you in the morning and you know
And you
enough
smile
people
back,
smile,
they gonna
Right,
smile.
yeah,
If you look at
yeah.
them, if
That's
you
true.
look
We
at
do
them
the
like,
same thing,
if you
yeah.
look at them like, then you're gonna look back like,
Nah, I just smile like you
Let's
have a
smile.
nice day.
Yeah, that's
I've
it.
done it. I've done it. I just smile like you
Good
have a
one.
nice day.
Okay.
How you kill them that way?
Okay, so like I said, no abuse, sisters and brothers. Men have
Men
abuse.
get
Men abuse. Men, mental, emotional. Like we
Men
could
get
tell you, shut the.
abused.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was used to shut the. And B know, like my brother here know 20 years. And he'd be like, yo, V, no. And I'd be like, why? He'd be like, no.
See, that's a real friend.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
friends ain't gonna tell you that.
Yeah, and I'll be
They gonna
like-
be like, all right,
And
whatever.
everything that I still to this day practice because again, the more you practice these lessons, the more you become a better person, right?
right.
Yeah.
We do not want to be the old self. We're trying to be the new self, and also you're trying to level up your awareness. Level up your awareness, meaning take it to the next level. Do things that you have not done before. That's what we're going to try today. Do things you have not ever done before. Smile at a person. Say hi. If you want to break the cycle, generational cycle, whatever was going on in your childhood, the parents, whatever you learned, be your own person. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? You have kids. What kind of legacy what do you want your kids to say when you're no longer here about you as a person? What did my mother do as a person? How did they help other people? So this is the message we want to share. The root of the problem is us. That's the end of the day. It's not anybody else. There's no more blaming. There's no more being a victim. There's forgiveness. Forgiveness is key if you have been in any type of abuse. You have to grow. You have to forgive those who have hurt you. And you have to get out of situations that are not for you, that are going to continue to hurt you and abuse you and keep you bound and keep you trapped. You gotta get up and get out. That was why I wanted to talk so much about this important topic, because you are your own individual. You cannot live for anyone else. You cannot save anybody else. We all have tried to save people. I don't know how many, and it was like, you see the vision. Things could be a dream because you have dreams about people too. Just like you have your dreams about purpose. You have your dreams to see this person in a different light. But this person may not be ready for that light. So you putting in all the effort and then the other person is not putting in any effort. Okay? That's when you got to say, I'm evolving. This other person is not. I'm moving up. This other person is not. It's time to move on. You may not grow with the same person.
And this
And
might
it's
even be somebody
okay.
in your relationship, like your man or your wife or
And it's-
whoever.
and it's-
sometimes you gotta let it go.
You got to let it go. And it's okay because life goes what? On and on and on to the break of dawn.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to end that and just say thank you all for tuning in. God comes first. That's the best relationship you can have is with the Lord in your life, because you know that he got your back. You know that you're asking for him to help you be a better person, but you have to practice. You have to find the tools. There's this book that I wanted another tool. It's called Know Yourself. Know Yourself on Amazon by Barbara Rose.
PhD.
It's a bestseller. Yeah. Know Yourself, a women's guide to wholeness. Men can get it too. Wholeness, radiance, and supreme confidence. Yo, this book, I got this book back in, I don't know, in the early 2000s. And I go over it. If you look, I go
see
over it
that.
all the time. Like it's like a journal.
Nice.
And you just, and it's when you start cracking open them layers, you start feeling like vulnerable. But then the more you start practicing those things, you start shining like the light. So it's coming from the dark into the light. That's why it's called the Light Show. So thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to having you back. And we'll let you know on social media when we have our next topic. Take care. Love y'all.
Good stuff, man.